Well, good morning. I'm glad to be here with you today for a few minutes. My bad dad joke for the day is this. Teenage girl says, "Dad, I heard you were voted Dentist of the Year." And the father replies, "Yes, they gave me a little plaque." They gave me a little plaque. Oh my God. God's little instruction book today asks a question. If you were given a nickname descriptive of your character, would you be proud of it? Proverbs 22 verse 1 says, "A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches." I believe that. I believe that. Isaiah chapter 40 verse 18 says this, "To whom can you then liken God? What form compares to him?" There are 10 commandments. The third commandment says, "Thou shalt not make for yourself a sculpted image or any likeness of what is in heaven or on earth below. You shall not bow down to that, and you shall not serve that." Traditionally, in these later years, this has been interpreted as an admonition not to worship idols. But I want to look at the text carefully and tell you what I think it means beyond that. It is saying, don't take any part of nature and call it God. That's what Isaiah meant. To whom will you compare God? Why are you wasting your time and energy in assuming that a part of God's created world is God in total? This doesn't point to instances when humans say to themselves, "My God, I'm so infused with your spirit that I wish I could represent it to people so they know what I'm talking about." If you or I draw a picture or paint a painting, that isn't idolatry necessarily, but rather a moment of exaltation when we are thinking, "I've got something to say and it overwhelms me." In the 17th century, Jewish mystics, people of the Spirit, and others would walk through the streets and say, "Wherever I am, God is there. East, west, north, south, there God is. If I'm looking at a budding tree, I'm reminded of God. If I see a little bird, I'm reminded of God. If I see a fish or a pig or a building or a tree, I'm reminded of God." And since we don't want to confine God, we say God is Adonai, the one whose name cannot be even uttered or pronounced, whose limits are so far beyond us and into infinity that it cannot be described. Let us be at prayer. O God, our God, we come to this day and we thank you for giving us a little bit different understanding of what the third commandment is all about. Not necessarily about worshiping idols, but trying to compare God to things that we cannot compare him to. Sustain us, preserve us, keep us, and love us. We ask this in Christ's name. Amen. Go with God. Amen.